Om.
Welcome back to our podcast, Talks on Shaktipat and Siddha Mahayoga, where we will be talking about Shaktipat, Kundalini awakening, Siddha Mahayoga, and the inner journey of a spiritual life. In our first episode, we introduced a profound and a lesser known spiritual practice called the Shaktipat. It's a direct energetic transmission that awakens the inner divine energy, which is often referred to as the Kundalini. We also spoke about Siddha Yoga, the path that unfolds naturally after this awakening. This path is very deeply rooted in a living lineage, passed down through the grace of a true guru, from the master to the seeker. I am deeply honored to be walking this path under the guidance of my guru, Siddha Yogini Thanishka, and to be in the lineage of my grand guru, Colonel T. Sreenivasulu, a realized disciple of His Holiness Swami Shahajananda Tirth Ji Maharaj. In today's episode, we will know more about this lineage and also about the process of Shaktipat Diksha and the Kundalini awakening. If you haven't yet listened to episode 1, I highly encourage you to go back and start there, as it will give you a strong foundation for everything we are about to uncover in this episode today. We have mentioned the link of episode 1 in the description below for your convenience. I very humbly welcome our Guru, Colonel T. Sreenivasulu. Thank you, Guruji, for coming here and bestowing us with your grace. With your permission, shall I start the podcast today?
Yeah. God bless you.
Thank you, Guruji. Guruji, in the previous episode, we understood a lot about your journey and how you came about this path of Shaktipat. And we also got to know a lot about your own guru. In this episode, I wanted to start with a question which may make us understand about the lineage which we belong to with God's grace. So, could you tell us more about this lineage behind this particular yoga system and where does it begin? How is it passed down from time over time?
Surely. First of all, ever since the dawn of human civilization, these yoga systems have been in vogue. Per se, there could have been many independent yoga systems and tantric systems which have been developed during the course of human history. Otherwise, yoga per se is already in existence as the human civilization evolved. Now, when we come to the word of Shaktipat, which we have been talking about, which is our main discussion today, the first time we hear the word Shaktipat during the time of Ramayana, thousands and thousands of years ago. There is a book written by sage Vasishtha, the guru of the royal family of Lord Ram. In his book Yoga Vasistam, he mentioned that he performed Shaktipat on Ram and his brother Lakshman when they were undergoing the education in Gurukul.
Okay.
So we hear the word Shaktipat for the first time. That is the earliest reference to that word Shaktipat. And it is very logical to assume that it must have been in vogue even much before the Ramayana times. Because if Shaktipat has been performed by Vasishtha during Ramayana, so what reason is there not to believe that it must have been already in vogue in much earlier times? And somehow intuitively I have a feeling that maybe it originated or rather started from the time of Parshuram, sage Parshuram onwards. Because when he meets his guru, Dattatreya, Lord Dattatreya, probably some even from that time, or even maybe even prior to that also, the Shaktipat must have been in vogue. Now, as far as we are concerned, I am only concerned about my immediate Guruji, that is His Holiness Swami Sahajananda Tirthji Maharaj, as you can see it in the frame behind me. And my Param Guru, that is my Guru's Guru, and then my Grand Guru, that is great Grand Guru rather, and beyond, up to a few Gurus in the lineage.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's very difficult to trace the origin of the no lineage as such. Because whatever the lineages we have today in the world, they all must have branched out from the original source somewhere.
Yes, Guruji, of
That
course.
is the thing to understand. So the Shaktipat has been in vogue since the time of Ramayana. We don't know how many branches have uh, took birth from the main lineage of Vasisht.
Mhm. Mhm.
And we don't hear anything about the word Shaktipat after that. 700 years ago, a lady used to live in the city of Srinagar, that is in the modern day state of Jammu and Kashmir in India. Her name was Lalleshwari. And she also is referred to as Lalla. If you search on the internet, you will find her teachings under the heading the word of Lalla. I mean,
Okay.
basically, people have compiled and published the book. But in modern times, she is referred to as Lal Dead. If you go into Srinagar, probably no one will know the word what Lalleshwari, but people know who is Lal Dead. Now, that time, the Shaktipat, whether she received Shaktipat Diksha from someone named Swami Paramananda Tirtha, or she had herself given Shaktipat Diksha to Swami Paramananda Tirtha. There's a little confusion there. It is historical from point of view, it is not clear. But definitely what we know is we could trace the lineage of Shaktipat for about 700 years ago. That means from thousands of years, from the times of Ramayana, we are now straight away jumping to the modern times. That is about 12th or 13th century AD. Now, thereafter, what happened to Shaktipat again is not known. For another 600 years, it is not known.
For 600
Till
years?
the time, yes. In fact, in the modern times, it is all widely believed among the yoga practitioners of Shaktipat that once in a cycle of 1200 years,
Okay.
for 600 years, the yoga system is practiced secretively from the mainstream society. And for 600 years, it becomes public among the mainstream society. Why it happens, we have no idea. But people believe that explains the reason why why we can't trace the continuity of the Shaktipat lineage, because of the cyclical nature of the practice of yoga system. That means for 600 years, it is publicly practiced and people are aware. And for 600 years,
It's hidden.
it is not known to the mainstream society. That means definitely it must have continued. Someone or the other must have been practicing it, but they must have been doing it secretively. That's why it is not heard much. People don't hear about it much. So, from the time of Lalleshwari, about 700 years, what happened to the lineage of Shaktipat is not very well known. We only hear about it last about 100 years back, from the time of there's a Swamiji who lived at that time in the city of Puri, that is in the modern day state of Odisha. His name was Swami Gangadhar Tirtha.
Okay.
He lived alone, and in his lifetime, he is known to have given only one Shaktipat Diksha. to just one of his disciple.
Okay, Guruji. Okay.
And from there, our lineage has started. And I'm sure there must have been so many other branches and offshoots in earlier times also.
Mm.
But Shaktipat is something, as we will speak later on when I will explain to you. It is a kind of a fundamental um, path to for attaining moksha. Because Shaktipat itself is a technique. It's not an independent yoga system.
Okay.
What happens after Shaktipat is common to all yoga systems and common to all tantric systems. Techniques may differ. Different yoga systems and different tantric systems, they may be using different methods. But what happens after Shaktipat, or the so-called, you can say, put it in another word, awakening of energy. Thereafter, it is same. The path is same.
Mm.
So therefore, I'm sure there must have been so many other offshoots and various other branches of lineage of gurus. But I'm only restricting myself to our particular lineage, which started off more than 100 years ago.
Guruji, that's very interesting. You've told us so much about the original time that Kundalini and Shaktipat initiation had started. Right from Ramayana, we can trace it when his of Ramayana, when Lord Ram received his Shaktipat initiation from his Guru Vashisht. And you have also told us something very, very interesting, that usually this path of yoga system actually gets vanished for 600 years and then erupts back and comes back into existence for another 600 years. So I'm assuming that right now is the time that it is in movement. That's why we are talking about it, and so much is happening even online about Kundalini and Shaktipat. Guruji, I wanted to now ask about our particular lineage specifically. In the modern day time, how much back can we trace our specific lineage that we belong to?
100 years ago, Swami Gangadhar Tirtha started this lineage of Shaktipat. He used to live in the modern day state of Odisha in a city called Puri. He used to live on the periphery of a lake called Chandan Talab,
Yes.
and he used to live in the house of one of his disciple, and the disciple himself used to live in Chaultry, and he donated the house to his guru. He used to do bhikshatan, that is beg for the food, and then bring it and feed his guru. But incidentally, he didn't give Shaktipat Diksha to that disciple. He gave it to someone else who came from Bangladesh. That time it must have been referred to as East Bengal.
Mm.
His name is Swami Narayan Dev Tirtha. That is the only Shaktipat Diksha he had given to him in his lifetime. And from Swami Narayan Dev Tirtha, two main branches have taken off. One is this disciple, Swami Shankar Purushottam Tirtha, used to be a temple priest in Puri. And the other person used to be Sri Yogendra Vijnani. He is not a sadhu, he has not taken sannyasa. So we also refer to him as Yogananda. Otherwise, his name is Yogendra Vijnani. And we all belong to his lineage, his branch. Thereafter, there are Yogendra Vijnani had two generations of disciples under him. That is Swami Vishnu Tirtha, who is originally from Haryana, and later he shifted to Rishikesh, and he had given another Shaktipat Diksha to his disciple, Swami Shivam Tirtha, who is from the modern day Lahore in Pakistan. So you see, the lineage is almost, you can say, pan Indian subcontinent. And Swami Shivam Tirtha happens to be my grand guru, that is Param Guru. And from his disciple, that is Swami Sahajananda Tirtha, I have taken Shaktipat initiation. This is in brief about our lineage. Starting from Swami Gangadhar Tirtha, you can say that in our lineage, I belong to the seventh generation in modern times.
Yes, Guruji. Guruji, that's so great. I'm getting to know so much of insights and information that I really didn't know about our lineage. This also reminds me of something when I had recently visited the city of Puri to do darshan at the temple of Puri. And my Guruji, Siddhi Yogini Tanishka, she informed me about Chandan Talab actually, and I visited it on the 1st of 2025, the 1st January of 2025. So my year actually started with going to a place that you just referred to. So it was, it just made me think about all my memories. Thank you so much for that. Um, okay, Guruji. So let's also now understand, because I really want to ask this question, is it that Shaktipat can only be given from one guru to another disciple? Like, is it specific to be given by a guru and it has to have a lineage? Is that a must?
Yes, it is. I will give you the analogy of a burning lamp. You need a burning lamp to light another lamp. Without fire, you can't light up another lamp. It is as simple as that.
So
So
true.
yeah, the lineage has to be followed. So it is something like any other, you can say, the ancestry of any family for that matter. Suppose, let's say, there is a person who has a father. His father must have been fathered by someone else, right?
Yes, Guruji.
By his grandfather. And his grandfather must have been fathered by someone else, that is great grandfather. So the existence of a human being without the ancestry, how can it happen? I mean, a human being can't manifest suddenly out of thin air, right? Someone must have fathered him.
Om. Om.